Hey, what's up, my uplifting life partners? This is Ron Simplified Myers. I'm over here in Downey, California today, and actually just came from the chiropractor. Got a couple of little adjustments here, a little massage, so feeling good. But for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to hear from me before, first let me say welcome and thank you. And I am the author of the book, The Relationship Success Handbook. Get rid of your problems, not your partner. Before I go into the topic today, which I wanted to talk about opinionated women and women with attitude, I wanted to share a young lady in the chiropractic office was actually reading my book. She's she said she mentioned to her husband, she said, "Wow, I need to change my stories." And so she said she happened to put the book by where her husband put his keys and stuff, and you know what that meant. That was kind of a big hint. And then I guess she mentioned to him, "Can I read you something out of this book?" And he was instantly, "Well, I got to shower, or I got to go to bed," and the excuses. And she's like, "Yeah, well, you probably wouldn't comprehend what it's saying anyway, so why reading it to you is not going to help," or something like that. See, folks, these are the things, but I guess it could kind of lead into my opinionated and women with attitude. What you have to do in the presentation, I would have probably have done in her particular case would be, what did you get out of that? And you go, "Honey, I'm sorry for some of the things that I've said in the past, some of the things that I've done. I was reading this and it opened my eyes, and I wanted to share with you how, what I got out of this, because it's going to help me change the way I respond to you." You see what I'm saying? Coming from that direction, I'm taking responsibility for some changes I'm about to make, and I just want to share with you how it affected me, and you're going to benefit from this. See, people, whether we like it or not, are always want to know what's in it for me. It's always about self. That's why I said your most important person is yourself. A lot of people don't want to hear that. They go, "No, because that would be arrogant. That would No. You are your most important person, and you should be. You're the only person that's with you 24 hours, 7 days a week." I remember I was sharing that with someone, and they're like, "No, the Lord is my number one. It's Jesus." So I left it at that. But then it was funny as we talked a little longer. They said, "You know what I love more than anything is when the Lord uses me to go speak to people." And I said, "Interesting. You love when the Lord uses you, who's not your favorite subject, to go speak to others' lives." I'm like, if Jesus was the Lord is your number one conversation, wouldn't you just be happy they got the message? And it doesn't matter if you're used or not? Interesting. See, folks, we don't want to claim it, but it's real. And it's nothing wrong with that, because you should be, because again, you're the only person that's with you for 24 hours, 7 days a week. But anyway, let me get back to this topic about opinionated and women with attitude. The challenge we have here is we link the two together. Opinionated and attitude are different. Everyone is opinionated. All it means is we have opinions on topics, and we all have an opinion. We all have a perspective, if that's the word you prefer to use, on every topic. Attitude would be the way you express that opinion. See where I'm saying how they link together? I mean, people are linking them as the same thing, but they can link together, but they're separate, because you can share your opinion, but with an attitude becomes a whole different thing. See, the attitude part is where it feels like an attack. Because I hear people all the time, "Well, men don't like opinionated." Because I listened to a podcast the other day, and they were talking on this topic, and a woman was like, "Yeah, I found me a man that I had to learn." She said, "And I got better at not being so opinionated." And there's times that she back off on particular topics, and she's learned that. And I had a family member I was talking to that said the same thing. "Yeah, because I need that too, because I know I'm opinionated, and I need a man that will put me in check." And so what I was sharing with her is, why would you ever want anyone to put you in check? You should never have to be put in check. See, this is about a maturity conversation, not a put me in check conversation. You're not a child. You're an adult. No one should be checking you at all. There's a difference in people sharing their opinions and us coming to something that works. See, the challenge with, and I know for some ladies what they're talking about is the fact that just what I said, the attitude. That's what they mean by opinion. And because I tell people, I said, any person, male or female, should be open to the fact that you have opinions. And anyone that isn't is a person you shouldn't be in a relationship with. You know, I keep saying we keep trying to make the wrong person the right person. If you're not able to express your opinions, then you're not needed in that relationship. If I have no opinion and we're only going by your views, your perspectives, then I'm not needed. Why are you in a relationship like that? Think about that. You're supposed to have an opinion. The question is, how are you expressing that opinion? And that's where some of this gut checking and that kind of stuff comes in, because some ladies that have an attitude attached to the opinion, that's their way of trying to gain control. That's their way of challenging you. And so for a lot of guys, that challenge, that attack, you trying to basically be aggressive, are one of the words that's used, people call punking. You know, you trying to punk somebody. That is the way that attitude comes across. Now people are going to get defensive. And if you have a guy and that's where this thing, the alpha or whatever, but that's going to be another video, where he'll step in, and this is what we call putting his foot down or gut checking you. It's basically what he's saying is, I'm not going to let you attack me. I'm not going to let you be aggressive towards me. I'm going to gut check you. Hey, you need to calm down. That is because you let your attitude take you to an aggressive way of being. And now he's got to defend himself, which means you're going to call it a gut check, but he's telling you better back down. Because what he's saying is you're threatening at this point with your attitude. That's the part that's a maturity level. That's not a gut check that you need level. That's a maturity level. You should be never challenging your partner at a point where your partner feels threatened. And your partner feels like, I have to defend myself. Because that's how fights get started to begin with. When people feel like you're attacking them, you're trying to, with your attitude, you're being aggressive. It's almost like you're fighting with your words. And if you're fighting a person, then their natural instinct is to defend themselves. That is what people are calling gut check. That's what they're calling a man putting his foot down. Why would you ever want to be in a relationship, one, where you're challenging your partner like that, to where they have to defend themselves? Because again, that's a maturity. You need to realize it's not him needing to gut check you. It's you needing to gut check you and back down and realize that's not the way we're going to get things resolved, by me challenging and kind of coming at my partner like in an attack mode. And a lot of that comes from, again, your pride and ego has been hurt for some reason. And so now you feel like I have to defend myself. And this is your way of doing it. That's what anger is all about. People do the anger because they feel like it gives them back power that they've lost in this conversation or in this situation. And so this is a way of gaining the power back. But then later they're mad at themselves because they use anger as a way to resolve the issue. Same thing. You attack your partner, they're going to have to, as you call it, gut check or put their foot down because you attacked them. In other words, you were angry towards them. At least that's the way it came across. And so now I got to defend myself. So anyway, the anger can be resolved when you realize you don't have to control everything. Boom, anger starts to disappear out of your life. And then secondly, the same thing with the attitude. If you know that you don't have to always be right, because that's a lot of this too, people having to be right. I say in relationships, quit trying to be right and do what's right. And by that, I'm saying, if we're in this together, you and I, then every decision we're making is what's best for us. And if I know you got my back and you got my back, why can't we talk like two human beings? Why does anybody have to be gut checked? Why does anybody have to be put in their place? One of the things I was sharing also with my family member is sometimes guys do need to be told. We make it sound like this is a thing that, well, men need to put their women in place or whatever. Some guys need to be gut checked. And for me, gut check means you need to be talked to in a way where you rationalize and understand you're not always right. Because see, that's my point when I hear that about the gut checking. Is it makes it sound like the guy is this sharp individual and he knows everything. So if he says this is the way it's supposed to be, I put my foot down, then that's the way it is. Well, sometimes him putting his foot down ain't in the best for the family. And we can't go and just say, well, because he's the man, we're going to accept it because he is the man. But what he's doing is he's putting the family in danger by his decisions. No, that's when you have to put your foot down. Now, with that being said, there's ways, again, we need to talk and communicate. So it's not a putting your foot down. It's not an attitude. It's not any of that. It's we need to be able to talk to each other. Remember, as I've said before, there's two keys to relationship. One is accepting people as they are. And the second one is communication. If I accept you as you are, then I understand we see the world differently from a different perspective. And then we can talk. And then that's the communication part. Here's the thing I want you guys to think about. Now, I personally, every relationship where I've seen, that's a successful relationship. I'm not saying people that have been together for a long time, because there's people that have been together 20, 30 years that I watch the way they talk to each other, they dishonor and disrespect each other in public, so I can only imagine what they're doing behind closed doors. I don't consider that a successful marriage. They stand together, for me, it doesn't equate to success. Now, some people, the fact that they're together is success. I'm not here to say right or wrong. Again, all in the way you approach it, your perspective. For me, I believe that's not successful. Anyway, what I get to is a successful relationship is one where it goes both ways. We both are allowed to share our opinions. That's what a team is all about. We and if you read my book on the 4 personalities, then I talk about the fact that we have all 4. You're strong in 2, your partner's strong in the other 2. Well, the example I use so people really get it is like, my wife was the stability-minded individual, and I had the T was my second personality, which is the theory, the very theoretical person, which are usually very smart people, but their people skills are very, very bad. But my wife was the one who had the great people skills. That relationship was her second strongest. So I was in management in every company that I worked in. So being in management meant I had to deal with the public. So whenever I had people conversations where I had to maybe discipline or take action on because of something an employee did or something, I would ask my wife, because why? Her strength was relationship. Mine was the theory, which means I'd be like, fire them. They ain't doing the job. Got to go. See, that would have been the way I was earlier in my business life. But because of my wife using her talent of the relationship, again, we have all 4, but she's strong in that area. I would go to her and say, here's the situation. How do you think I should handle this? See, that to me is what a successful relationship looks like. This is not about me putting my foot down and me proving her wrong. See, we understood what each other's strengths were. So when we needed something where it's like you need to be tough because maybe you're being taken advantage of, or people are trying to use your niceness or whatever, your kindness, then my wife would come to me and say, here's the situation. You see what I'm saying? And I would tell her how, you got to be strong with people and stuff like that. So that's why I'm saying we actually complement each other. So you go to each other based on the strength. This is not because I'm the man, I make the decisions. No, you need to back down because sometimes it ain't your strength and you need to sit down. That's my point. This is not about trying to prove who's the man of the house or who's the woman or play your role, and that means you're a servant to me and I'm the man. And again, I've heard people throw the biblical, and you guys know I don't get into religious conversations, but people like to throw, well, the Bible says that man is the head of his house. And it says, yeah, but I said, read it further. It talks about as Christ was for the church. Christ didn't dishonor and disrespect the church. But that is what you're doing to your wife. You put your wife as a lower standard. Jesus washed feet. He was serving. You're not doing that to your wife. You think your wife is a servant. Gut check yourself. So anyway, I got off the tangent there. Y'all messed me up. Got me sidetracked. But I can get on that one too and get on a roll. But anyway, the bottom line is opinion. You should always be open to your partner having an opinion, because her opinion may be what's best for the family. The moment you think as a man or as a woman, you think because he's the man, he always has the right answers and therefore you should back down and be quiet and meek or whatever. No, you're a detriment to the relationship if you do step down and your husband is guiding you guys in the wrong direction and you accept that because you go, I got to know my role. No, he's heading you off a cliff. If he want to jump, that's on him. You don't follow that. See, you guys almost got me started because I was like, that's biblical too. That's as long as your man is following the word, you follow him. If he's not, you don't. When he's going against the word, you don't follow him. But anyway, see, I don't know how y'all got me on this particular topic, but anyway, but bottom line is, share your opinions. Men, if you have this ego, get off of your pedestal and understand we're in this together. I'm open to your opinions. Please share your opinions. And those ladies that have it with an attitude, recognize it's not him putting his foot down or challenging you. It's you maturing and realizing it's not about me trying to prove my point or me trying to intimidate you or me trying to come at you or basically challenge you. It's not about that. This is not about challenge. I always tell people, in a relationship, you have to remember it's me and you versus the problem, the issue. If you keep that in check, me and you versus the problems, the issues, our relationship will work. And no one will have to put their foot down. No one will have to use an attitude to get their point across, because we're on the same squad. We're working together. Again, what I was getting to, and I got sidetracked there, every relationship that I've seen that is a successful relationship, you'll notice the guy is not one that talks down to his wife. He is not demeaning to his wife. His wife has opinions. You'll see that. These women are very confident in who they are. They will speak their piece. Their husband doesn't back them down because they have a relationship. She's not challenging him with an attitude. And therefore, they have a relationship where they can actually talk to each other as two human beings to get the problems and issues resolved. And as you guys know, it ain't right, it ain't wrong. It is my opinion. Now, if you haven't had the opportunity to watch my videos, run over to ronsuchannel.com. That's the letter U, ronsuchannel.com. Check out the videos. Please subscribe to the website, to the YouTube channel. Leave comments. Hopefully click some likes on there. I enjoy those. They also help my videos get around so we can spread this message out to the masses. And if there's topics that you'd like for me to cover, please put those also. I enjoy doing videos. I enjoy sharing insight. My objective, as you guys know, is to simplify life. We're making this stuff way, way, way too complicated, and it doesn't need to be. So as you know, I will always close with, if you're not having fun, you should be doing something else. Make sure you're in a relationship where you can share your opinions, or you shouldn't be in it, but at the same time, do it without having a confrontational attitude. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.